German activist jailed in Hungary for attacks at Nazi rally. A German activist has been sentenced to 8 years in a Hungarian prison for assaulting right-wing extremists and for being a member of an extreme left-wing group. The 25-year-old, identified only as Maya T., was found guilty of involvement in violent assaults by the group Antifa Ost in the lead-up to an annual commemoration of Nazi soldiers in Budapest. But supporters have raised concerns over whether Maya T., who identifies as non-binary, could receive a fair trial in the Hungarian court, because the country legally recognizes only 2 genders and pride marches are banned. Last year, Germany's constitutional court found Maya T. could face discriminatory treatment and said an extradition should not proceed. But the ruling came too late to stop the handover, as police in Germany had already delivered Maya T. to Hungarian authorities by helicopter in an overnight operation in 2024. The 25-year-old did not comment on the allegations during the trial, and the verdict is subject to appeal. In February 2023, far-right groups from across Europe gathered in Budapest to commemorate the anniversary of the end of the Second World War. The so-called Day of Honor marked an attempt in 1945 by the German Wehrmacht, the Waffen-SS, and their Hungarian collaborators to break through a Soviet siege of the city. Between the 9th and the 11th of February 2023, about 20 alleged left-wing extremists from Antifa Ost, a militant far-left multinational group also known as the Hammer Gang, attacked people with batons, rubber hammers and pepper spray at several places in Budapest. Officials said the attackers believed their victims had participated in the commemoration. Prosecutors said Maya T. was involved in 2 attacks and part of a criminal organization. German MEP Martin Scherdwan from the Socialist Die Linke Party described the proceedings as a political show trial, and said Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban had deliberately exploited this trial for his election campaign. 8 years in prison for Maya T. is disproportionate, he wrote. This is not about justice, but about setting a political example. Trials of other members of Antifa Ost are currently underway in German courts in Seldorf and Dresden. Those trials are focused on the violence in Budapest and other incidents in Germany. Hungary classifies Antifa Ost as a terrorist group, along with the US, which made the designation last November as part of the Trump administration's crackdown on Antifa activists. The designation makes group members ineligible to enter the US, freezes any assets they may have there, and makes it a crime to provide material support to the group. Germany's far-right Alternative for Germany AfD party has called for Antifa Ost to be banned domestically. Granting asylum to a citizen of a fellow EU member goes against the spirit of EU standards. Russia's leader praised what he called Orban's balanced position on the situation in Ukraine. Troy Parrott completes a hat-trick with virtually the last kick of the game as the Republic of Ireland come from behind to stun Hungary and reach the World Cup playoffs. A former leading figure in the Russian Orthodox Church breaks his silence after an exade levels allegations against him. On the surface, the Hungarian PM's trip was exactly what he wanted, but the full picture is more complex, writes the BBC's Nick Thorpe. Copyright 2026 BBC. The BBC is not responsible for the content of external sites. Read about our approach to external linking. Subscribe to Neuron News and turn on notifications to stay updated with world developments instantly.